Hey guys and gals, Undead. I want to talk a little bit today about Stasis and addressing that massive elephant in the room. Since its inception, right before Beyond Light came out, we had been talking in a couple videos, and a lot of other people were talking and saying this is not going to be a good idea. Being frozen and not being able to move in a first-person shooter where the whole point of the game is movement, it's not a good thing. So what do? They put crowd control into the game as a subclass. This feature is so hated right now. It is literally trending on Twitter. Nerf Stasis, Remove Stasis are both trending on Twitter. They have like 6,000 to 10,000 retweets and stuff like that. And it's time you either remove it or nerf it so that it's on an even playing field. I should not be in a Crucible game and the only class that is being ran is a top tree Dawnblade, and the rest of the entire team, both mine and theirs, are running Stasis, particularly Revenant Hunters and Glacial Quake Titans. You literally have a Shadebinder super on the Warlock. You fire a melee, and it sends off a pulse that literally is a bubble 50 feet around him that can kill through walls. There's no way around it. It just kills you. You have a Glacial Quake Titan that can literally put up so many ice walls and shatter them with a slide that cannot be countered and moves faster than you and still has way too much damage resistance. You also have a super that I main, the Revenant, because it's too good not to use, that whenever you cast a super, you're virtually invincible unless you're being hit by a super. Whenever you're casting it, a la Night Stalker, where you gain a window of invincibility whenever you're throwing your little scythe there. And it has a tornado that chases you around, and now you add an aspect to this class that is a grenade mod for the Cold Snap that makes it so that it can chase you 30 feet away, lock you in place, you break out of it. That little leader is traveling away. It comes back around like Truth from Destiny 1 and freezes you again. It's happened to me so many times. Either remove it or adjust it. We paid $70 for Beyond Light for you to remove 30+% of the game. And your reason was it'll make it easier to update the game and to patch stuff. Where is the patch? You guys have said since November of 2020, yes, we're going to have renewed focus. And actually, it was before that. It was like the beginning of last year. You said we're going to have a new renewed focus on PvP. At this point, it seems like you're not listening. That's what you guys always say. You always screw something up, and I guarantee they're going to try to martyr themselves and be like, oh, well, we missed the mark on this. We're sorry. We're going to address it. Yeah, new season coming out in 3 months. Buy it. That's basically what it's going to be. Why would they ever want to nerf this subclasses anyway? Because, well, Witch Queen just comes out in like 7 months. We could just let it run rampant till then. And by that time, we'll have new subclasses that are going to be coming out. And they'll just move away from those old ones and move on to the new ones. And they'll forget that these were broken. It seems like that's what you guys do. You try to sweep an issue under the rug so long that eventually we're just like, yeah, we can still see the trail of dirt. That little line that gets left behind is right there. We know something was there. This is the same company that pushed out an update the other day for linear fusion rifles. And it wasn't even in the game. You didn't even include it in the patch. Like, do you guys test nothing before you just unleash holy hell upon your game? Because at this point, it seems like you don't. You don't listen to your player base. I've been saying that for months. You do not respect your player base. All you respect is cold, hard cash. Unless we're pumping money into your Eververse store or just buying your new seasons, you don't seem to care. When you have some of your biggest names in the game like Astacross, Datto, True Vanguard, Rick Caucus, Error, and a bunch of other guys, Gigs, and D1 Alphabet, getting ready to walk away and are literally telling their community, your game sucks. You'd think you might listen, but you don't. People are also saying, oh, well, they can't nerf it in Crucible without busting it for PvE. Yes, they can. They've proved they can do it. All you have to do to address Stasis, Remove freezing outright except by a super, and make your super make the freeze time last less than a second. Remove the accuracy penalty from being inside of a grenade or being frozen or suppressed, which these grenades freeze you and then they suppress you when you break out of them, by the way. Also, make it so that not everything freezes. I wouldn't mind being knocked down to like 80% movement speed, kind of like how in Call of Duty you move at like 80% movement speed when you're carrying an LMG. I wouldn't mind that if I'm being frozen. But to freeze me, suppress me, make it so that I automatically lose that gunfight and I get an accuracy penalty for having the nerve to be hit by something I can't control? Seriously? Did you guys test none of this before you put it in the game? People have been pissed about this feature since halfway through Beyond Light's first season. We said, look, this is way too hot. You need to address this. And what did you do? You buffed it. Right now, Stasis is all that is in Crucible. Whether that be subclasses, grenades, bounties that you have to complete that involve stuff like that are only completable easily by doing Stasis. You put a Stasis primary in the game, which is apparently the only elemental primary in the game. I don't know about that, but apparently it's true. You're pushing Stasis hard. We get it. It's there. It was cool for about 15 minutes, and that was 14 minutes too long. This needs to be addressed. You have everybody is saying address this. There's more backlash on this than there was sunsetting and transmog. And that's a whole different animal right there. Found out that transmog was time gated. That's really brilliant. You already had almost no goodwill with the community. Now you time gate your stuff a la Genshin Impact. That's awesome. Put a slot machine in there and it'll be the next mobile game. You guys put so much effort into your Eververse store, into your story, and into everything else, but your sandbox sucks. Your game is unbalanced and needs to be fixed. All this money that is getting spent, it doesn't feel like it's going back into your game at this point. It really doesn't. This is the same company, mind you, that made Halo Reach and put armor lock in the game, realized how big of a problem it might be, and decided, hey, almost 10 years later, whenever we make our new game, we're going to add an ability that gives everybody armor lock. How about that? Gives everybody damage resistance. You could spam it. It's awesome. Don't hurt us. Stuff like that. Bungie is getting roasted. And what's DMG saying? Oh, man. Good day today. How's everybody feeling? Lots of feedback. We're squashing bugs as quickly as we can. Is that a riot? Is that a pitchfork? They're basically doing that. Destiny community is on full revolt. And a lot of people that are outsiders will say, well, the Destiny community is toxic. Not really. We're really not all that toxic. It's just there's issues with the game that have been glaring for a long time. We know how to fix them, and our retarded developers at times refuse to listen to us. And people can say, oh, Bungie knows best, Bungie knows best. No, they really don't. This is the same company that throttles XP and throttles reward games because they're scared to death we're going to get stuff too fast and not be able to, and not want to play their game as much. Like, really? Same company that throttles their rewards for strikes because they're scared to death you'll be able to run through them too fast and get the loot. This is the same company that does all of this stuff. The same company we said, hey, we don't like something, so they put more of it in the game. The same company that after their player base bled itself, they finally addressed sunsetting. Which I guarantee you it comes back. They always say, oh, power creep, power creep. You guys have some of the most creative minds in the game. Well, gaming industry ever. How many other games can pull off something like Destiny? Perfectly mastered movement and gunplay. It is one of the smoothest playing games I've ever played. And Stasis ruins every bit of it. Oh, Another point I saw, and I'm going to address this too. Someone said they can't outright disable Stasis in Crucible. It doesn't work like that. The Scorch Cannon playlist has no abilities. It has nothing. You can make it. You can't put down your Scorch Cannon. It is possible, but they refuse to do it. Because Destiny does not work without abilities, by the way. But when you put something that is broken in the game, it makes it even worse. I would just really like this to be addressed. Stasis needs to either be toned down or gone. I wouldn't miss it otherwise. I'd go right back to my golden gun. I miss playing on my golden gun. I miss actually being able to get a kill with my golden gun. I miss actually using a primary and not spamming ice all over the place. I miss not getting team wiped by a super twice in one game from one super. Getting hit in my spawn by a Titan and then him running all the way across the map. And Bungie as well, whenever it comes to nerfing stuff, I understand they swing the nerf bat a little hard, but you need to beat the ever-living crap out of Stasis when it comes to it. It needs to be toned way down. Remove freeze, remove the accuracy penalty. Excuse me, I've been using accuracy for the catalyst. And you need to just address this in just everything. What happened to this new renewed focus on PvP? We were hoping we were going to get a PvP only season. I know it'll piss a lot of people off, and it does not need to happen. It just needs to be addressed. I wouldn't mind like a 15 or 20 gigabyte update towards Crucible right now. Because as it stands too, your Crucible still sucks. The only viable guns are shotguns, which are still busted. Hand cannons are still busted. There's still a lot wrong with this game, and you guys refuse to address it because screw you, we know better. You guys take so long, it seems like you're ignoring it. At least come out and address it. Yes, we screwed up. It's too much. We will be addressing this as soon as possible. We'll be pushing out an update with a later season so we don't have to spend the extra money on a patch. We'll cram it all into one patch and get it out at one time. They also do that as well to justify that they're doing stuff. Oh, but they had a massive 9 gigabyte patch for Destiny the other day. Did you see that? Yeah, what was included in it? All the new seasonal items and like 2 weapons changes that were supposed to happen 6 months ago. That you always say you're going to address stuff in future seasons. The time is now. Your player base is literally holding on by a thread right now. Some of your biggest names are ready to give up and just walk away, and you don't care. It seems like you don't care because we don't get any feedback from you guys aside from DMG. And that guy is a meme at this point. But what do you guys think, though? You think Stasis is too hot, a little too spicy in the Crucible? Oh, on that as well. Speaking of spicy and hot things, Titans are the only class now that has a counter to Stasis. It used to be Icarus Dash, and you stealth nerfed it without saying a word to anybody. Hunters can't dodge out of it anymore. Are you guys stupid? Are you Call of Duty? You stealth nerf everything. But just let me know what you think in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this, a like and a sub is always appreciated. It helps me out. It's one of the best things you can do for my channel. Stay safe in these trying times. Please don't do anything stupid. And I will see y'all later. Peace.